government, which was started and usurped authority through corruption, through bloodshed, through thievery, through mass murder. And this is not to play the violin and play victim. We're just analyzing facts. Because there's a lot of good in this country that you can benefit from too. We're talking about specifically the aspect of a person that's being hired as the chief governor or the office of the president of the United States of America. You understand that in a capitalist country, okay, capitalism is automatically anti-revolutionary because of what capitalism's objectives are. So if they have somebody in office at the head of the highest office in a capitalist government regime, then their agenda orientation is not going to be conducive with what you want as far as one who seeks liberation and transformation and change and equality. Now we can say this thing may happen in time, yeah, but not this time. Let's analyze the man's body of work. And now I look at the positive and the negative, the pros and the cons. I like to be balanced in my thinking. So I can use as a critical thinker, and I can look at Barack Obama and say, you know what? Psychologically, positively, but I mean, there's not too many or not enough positive roles of black men or black women or black people in general on television and the media around the world. Right. Some people's perception that they have of black people is negative because through television, the media, and because we've been written out of any respectable commentary in history.
True.
Because of that, people's perception of us is a handcrafted by the white man, the Anglo-Saxon white man for the most part. You know what I mean? So when you see a person in a position of power that was a descendant of people who were the children of slaves come into prominence like that, and he has a black woman, he has a little swag about him, he's very intelligent, not bad looking, beautiful daughters, and he's a second time in term, people are going to see that, and people are going to be positively inspired by that are black and non-blacks, are going to look at it and say, wow, you know, there is probably hope for the people. You know what I mean? My perceptions were wrong, I'm just saying, so to speak.
Yeah, that's true.
So you know what I mean? I know how to look at that and extrapolate the positive concept and idea and perception of that, but that doesn't mean when we're wrapped up into that emotionalism and not critically analyze his body of work and what he's been doing. What is his agenda? What is his objective? How it is effective? How it is benefiting?
So
you know, I have to look at all those things.
You're going to spit them right out now.
I ain't going to front. I like Obama phones. I have one myself, man. He's the only one that everybody, man, went to that was getting EBT, went to, and God told me to get a little ghetto one right now, too. And got $200.
The white man put them in, now he's going to take them out and spit them out.
Yeah, but
and make us look like a fool.
It's not making us look like a fool.
Yes, it does,
I mean,
because he's
when you say us,
color. He's our color.
He doesn't represent every. We got to stop
not
having.
All our people know this. Not all our
okay,
people
well, let me just say
this.
this. When you say you make us look like a fool, everybody that's black not a supporter of Obama. Okay, first of all, okay. When he says us, he doesn't represent that black people are not some mono type race where we just all on one accord, all think and have the same viewpoints. So there's so much diversity amongst us. There's so many differences amongst us culturally, socially. I mean, there's a common thread, of course.
Yeah.
But socially, class status, economically, educationally, academically, whatever. You know what I mean? So to say that he's making us, it all depends on what level of awareness or consciousness you accept, or your connectivity to his concepts, his belief system, his political agendas. If you believed in his political agenda and you supported that wholeheartedly, based on just emotionalism, he would make you look like a fool. But I don't think him getting spit out makes the collective aspect of all black people look like a fool. But some people wasn't already seen through that from the gate.
Nobody's stepping up for him. I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. None of our minorities are stepping up for him. I don't, you know what I mean?
But you're going to probably have to analyze why. And I don't even say nobody is. Because it's always about, you're stepping up for him now by saying that. That is an attempt to defend the fact that you don't think he has enough defense, which is defending him by association.
That's the only reason I voted.
And there's millions of people like you.
But
one thing we don't want to do, and I respect and I love the love that you have for the
because I'm not a voter.
image.
I don't vote. I'm not a politician.
The fact that you support the black man and you, regardless of what, you see him in office and you feel good about that, as much as our people have been through here in America, as much political endeavors that we embarked on and got shut down or swallowed up or bought out or sold out, to see a person finally at the highest level of so-called prominence as the chief governor or president, of course, it's gonna make you proud.
Right.
But proud and pride and happiness the elation that you get from that, and there's nothing wrong with that, does tie into emotion. Emotion has to be balanced. So along with emotion, we also want to look at his body of work. We also want to not stop critically thinking, because he has to be held accountable by black people for what he's done.
You're right,
and there's a lot of things that he has not done for us. There's a lot of things he's done for the gay and lesbian community, and he hasn't spoke volumes on a lot of the killings and the murders and the social injustices, or you know what I'm saying?
But it couldn't happen if his people stood behind him. And we stood up and
people who stood behind him and voted for him. There are people that never voted for him,
voted
for him 2 times.
They're not doing the footwork.
You know what? You know what that was? A lot of people have to be political educated. It's not about supporting the Barack Obama thing. It would be about supporting the things that we need as a people, doing the footwork on that.
Yeah, taking action.
A lot of times it's about being proactive, and a lot of people are proactive. You can't say nobody's proactive because people
are not enough of us.
Yeah, you just can't pray and you just can't pray and march and think it's going to happen.
Barack Obama. There's never been enough of us doing that.
We got before Barack Obama,
before Barack Obama, after Barack Obama, there's going to be a lot of footwork that has to be done. There's going to have to be a lot more political education that we need to learn. There's going to be a lot more unity, principle unity, that we're going to have to try to obtain. But in the meanwhile...
But they're all up in the churches.
They're not just in the churches.
They're
in the mosque. They're in the mosque too. They're in the mosque too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're in the halfway house too. I mean, they're on the corner too. They're everywhere. They're in the Chinese restaurant too. They're in the club too. They're in foot action right now, buying a pair of $500 sneakers that they can't really afford it too.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. I mean, we got to get it together on every level.
Yes, we do.
You know what I mean? We don't want to just say the church, but at least the church has been, the black church has always those that do anyway, for the most part, have always been proactive and prolific in the advancement of our people as far as in the realm of politics and social endeavors. We can't say that the church exhibits more unity, the ones that do. I'm not saying all churches. I'm not generalizing, I'm saying the ones that do. Especially in the 50s and 60s and all that.
Yeah.
Guess who was behind a lot of the movements in church? That's why I say you got to give credit where it's due. Yeah, we know Christianity is a white man's religion and all that, but we also have to look at the pros and the cons and things. We have to critically analyze things, eat the fish and spit out the bones.
Where are all the Malcolm X leaders? Where are all the Malcolm X leaders and all the Martin Luther King people? Where are they? We need
talking to one of them. And there's many of me out here, you know, because a lot of times we get too hell-bent on who ain't doing nothing instead of supporting those who are and joining onto them. And then we become very professional, not you, I would never, but I know you're about business too, and I know how you handle it. And you're an activist. You're an activist in the education to help. That's active. That's being active. The root word for activist is active. You're being active when you're getting a higher education to go help other people. That's one of the best forms of activism that you can have. Activism that you can have is when you're providing services, okay, and for people, okay? When you're trying to do something that can help benefits and services for the people, that can help them, you know, in a certain kind of way, and you have a certain ideology, and God is the center of your life, and your people is the love, is the foundation that you stand upon, then that's activism. So I respect you. But I'm saying we do have to look at the pros and cons of things and start weighing more critically instead of being more emotional. Because if not, we can always become duped. And somebody can put anybody who can appeal to our emotions, because the people study us. They can put anybody. These people are emotional. All we got to do is give them what they want. And they will support that while we underhandedly, behind the curtain, have another plan and agenda for them. So on that, I want to say, you know, we want to start being more proactive with studying, researching, being critical analysis, and like the sister said, supporting those who are doing that. Because let me tell you something, the micro affects the macro. It's the smallest amount that affects, that has an impact on the masses. It doesn't take everybody to do something. It's not going to happen like that. Since we already know and understand that, we can emotionally detach ourselves, negatively emotionally detach ourselves from the fact that enough of us not doing it. And start doing what we need to do to impact enough of us to want to start doing that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
but that's going to take sacrifice, it's going to take more study, and at the root of that is love.
Yeah,
like the church said, agape love.
Oh, that's deep.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Like power.
Right
Like
on.
power.
Power to the people.
Oh man, there you have it again, live and direct from Harlem, New York, the National Black Theater. It's the Brotha Sankofa and the sister Queen Lois, future criminal justice, studying the law. She'll be having her degree in one more year, the Queen Lois Flow. And this is Gunzy Production and in cooperation with Sankofa Productions. And the brother just dropped the jewels on the sister. And we're building together in peace and love and black power. HOTEP.
Hey, use the bathroom to get a body. I don't know
What's the sign?
You have to put me on camera saying that. Come on.
Use the bathroom, you filming.